Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Fuel Power and welcome to my mess of a garage. Now we've got about 2 weeks to go until our very first social gathering, or the Fuel Power party as it may well be more well known on the internet at the minute. And all of the vehicles we have working in the fleet are coming along with us to that very party. So we've got the caravan coming, Mini, the Fiat which is just out of shot over there, the Sandero as well, but probably the most important one I guess out of those, especially for this video, is the Sinclair C5, which I picked up earlier this year. Now, if we have a quick look at it, you can see it's in not at all one piece. It's in many pieces spread across my garage and the minute, as well as everything else that's going on in here. Yes, it's a mess at the minute. I know I will get around to cleaning it eventually, as everyone probably will say at some point in their lives. But yes, we've got the body, we've got the chassis, we've got the front fork as well. We've got boots, we've got the, I guess, rollover hoop type thing. At least we've got two of those even. So one of those will be going up for sale at the end of the project when it's all finally done. Wheels, we've got two of those as well, and an axle. So I've built up quite a collection over the last few months, trying to get this all back in at least a point where I can actually build it. Now, in time for the party, this is not going to be fully built. It's just going to be rolling. It's not even going to have the pedals on it to make it work, or an electric motor. So it's just going to be a case of something for people to at least look at. But I think it's something a little bit different to bring to the social, and also I think it's going to be quite fun to say that this, I guess, vehicle's very first event was actually our party, which is quite exciting. So today's plan with this is to get it all back in one piece and have it rolling, and also put the wheels on. There's a lot to do, not a lot of time to do it in, because we've got other things we need to do before the party. I think we should crack on. I think first of all I will start with putting the tyres onto the wheels as well as the inner tubes. Now, the inner tube used here is going to be a Halford's 12-inch one. Fits tyre widths 1.5 inch to 2.1 inch. I probably won't change this between now and a proper restoration video, so anybody wanting to know that, that's what it is. Inner tube and tyre are now on, and just having a look at this, what does it need to be at? It says 2 to 4 bar or 30 to 55 psi. Okay, I'm going to take it up to 42 psi then, because it's all about midway between 30 and 55 then, using my trusty old Ryobi inflator. Right, one tyre done. You can always pump it up a little bit more if I need to. Rear wheels next, and this time they are 16-inch wheels. What I've got here are Continental double fighters. They're 1.75 wide, and the inner tube that I've got fits tyre widths 1.5 inch to 2.1, so that's perfectly fine. Yes, I do realise I've got Continentals for the rear and a Schwalbe tyre for the front, but that's all the tyres I've got, and really I just want to get it rolling. And to be fair, they're all new tyres. I did get the Schwalbe when I bought the chassis and the body, because I got those from the same seller, and they just had it and said, you know, I'll throw that in as well, so I got that. Whereas these two I went and bought online at quite a good price. Usually Sinclair tyres can be anywhere between 60 to 80 pounds for a full set, whereas I got these two for 10, and that was obviously free, but had I bought that separately that would have been about 12 pounds I think, roughly, off the top of my head. So overall I don't think I've done too badly with tyres. But yes, get these onto here, and then hopefully I can fix this rear axle onto the chassis, which is over there with obviously the new tyre already on. I will obviously have to take my experimental pieces off though. So I've just put the body of the C5 outside for a bit, just give me a tiny bit more room to work with in here, because I really don't have a lot at the minute despite the size of the garage. Let's do the same process with these as I did with the front wheel. The tyres are now onto the wheels and they're actually looking really good. I'm quite pleased with those, especially with the white ring going round on both the rear and the fronts. Yes, I know they're not the same branded tyres I've already mentioned, but it keeps some form of a unity with that. The next task is to actually mount the axle onto the frame. But first I've got to remove my little test and experimental pieces just here. That is chassis and rear axle united for the very first time. They come from two separate Sinclair C5s. I've mounted the axle through to the chassis by using M6 bolts with obviously nuts and washers underneath. I will probably cut these down to size when I know exactly how I'm going to do this when I come around to doing it properly, but as I said, for now it's just a case of putting it all together ready for the party. I still need to find a bolt or something to fit in there, so if you know the size of that, let me know. But yes, I think the next stage is to get the body, which is just up here on top of my trailer, and mount that onto that. That could be fun. Now obviously this is not the standard height for a Sinclair C5, the front end is massively lower than what it should be. So to get it up, what you've got are some mounting holes located just here in the sides. There's one at the back, there's one at the front, and obviously it mirrors on the other side. And that way then you mount the body into the metal chassis, which is obviously now hidden beneath all that. The body is now firmly back on the chassis, and I've just mounted the boot lid in just to see how that looks, and it's looking good. I haven't got a lock for that yet, so the idea being if anybody wants to come up and have a look, see how the C5 boot is, they can. So what I'm going to do now is just fit the rear light, which I've got just somewhere down there, pointing with a screwdriver. Now I'm going to fit that using these. These are little clips that you use for mounting speakers, and in fact they come from the speakers from the Mini, but because I mounted that directly into a wooden board that went underneath the rear seat and in the front footwells, I didn't need them, so I've got plenty of these left over, so I'm going to use these to mount the lights to the C5 just up here. And now the C5 is outside for the very first time in what is a very, very long time. Certainly is since I bought it back in the trailer all those months ago. That was back in April now. At this moment in time, it is currently very late August, so that gives you an idea how long it's been actually sat inside for. But this is now the condition it'll be in on the day of our party. The boot is attached, and yes, that obviously needs work. The lights is on. Wheels and axle, they're connected to the chassis, and the shell is on the chassis as well. This light is a reproduction 3D printed one, which is resin printed, which is quite different to filament print, which is what I usually use. don't have access to resin printing here at home, so I've had to get that off one of the C5 owners groups on Facebook. But I will do more in-depth, you know, information and things about things like that when I actually come to do the proper restoration of this over winter. But it's looking good. Obviously there's a few bits I'm still missing, such as the crank axle and bearings for that as well, and the stem. I do actually have the handlebar for it, but there's no point obviously putting the handle on because it's got nothing to attach to, which is kind of useless. But overall, I'm pleased with how the C5 has turned out today. I've reached my objective. All I wanted to do was get it rolling on the chassis, and that's exactly what it's doing. The wheels, or sorry, the tyres are on the wheels. It has been good. The only thing I might do, but I can do that off camera, is just take this off because it's a bit sharp, and don't exactly fancy having anybody catch themselves on that if, you know, anybody maybe wants to get a photo or something in this. We shall see. But that's the C5 ready for the 11th of September for the Fuel Power Party. I think I'm getting ready for it. It's only feeling a lot more real now. And yeah, hopefully we'll see many of you on the day, and many of you want to come and see the C5. So thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, let me know what are you bringing to the party if you're able to come along, of course. And if you want to see more car-based content and vehicle-based content and C5-based content, I guess, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Plenty more videos coming up on the channel very soon. Anyway, I've spoken enough and too quickly for my own good. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, farewell.